business, everyone here has fears. Market uncertainty. What if something happens to you, your health? What if your product and your business is not desirable? What if the laws change? What does Kathy Ireland Worldwide fear the most? You can't be optimistic about everything. It must be like, what do we fear?
Repeating mistakes.
What's some of the business mistakes that you have made that people can learn here from? I always say a wise man learns from his mistakes while a genius learns from Kathy Ireland. I've been saying that all along.
Very, very sweet. Oh my goodness, JT, we've made so many from, I talked about digging deeply and really getting to know people. And people let you know who they are. You've got to really pick up on all the cues. When we have our getting to know you process with a potential partner, maybe it's a manufacturing partner, we tell them, kick the tires with us, get to know us, because we want every relationship to be a lasting, long-term relationship. We're very thorough in our contracts with our lawyers, and there are so many tangible resources out there, sba.gov. I don't work for them, I don't get anything from them. LegalZoom is a source we've used at times, or we use traditional lawyers. We have those contracts. They are so thorough. We go back and forth. We hope for the best. We plan for the worst. We really get everything out on the table. What if this happened, like you were saying? What if that happened? We sign them, we put them away in the drawers, and we forget about them, and we start treating one another like family. And that really works for us.
Let me ask you, I've always wondered this. What does a Fortune 500 CEO do? What time do you wake up? What does your week look like? What do you do?
Most of those that I know that are not successful, which is most of them,
of course,
they arrange their golf game. They arrange their meetings. They arrange arrangements. I believe, I've been criticized for this, I believe in micromanagement. Now, some people think that's...
Can you explain that? What do you mean, like, micromanagement?
I think it's a term that means better management. I was accused of being into everything. I was, of course, not into everything. I mean, it's a very big company. But I did butterfly in to things that I thought were important. Anything in the creative area, any new ride, obviously an acquisition. We bought Capital Cities ABC, and that was...
So how's it work? So you're the big CEO, this $60 billion company. People have an idea. Like, how do you operate? What's your system to look at this? Do you walk around? Do you have a system?
I am the wrong person to be the model. I am, because I believe in disruption. Well...
All right. Do you realize that if someone said the exact same thing to you when you were interviewing the interviews of the conversations with Michael Eisner, you would have come right back down their throat? I've watched those things. You're like, answer my questions.
Well, no, I do. For instance, when I first went to Walt Disney World, it took me a while to figure this out. They would take me around, and everything looked great. And then I realized that they probably painted the route I was going on the day before I got there. And then I went in one kitchen, and I saw, in the hotel I was staying, a blackboard. Michael Eisner is here. And then I found out when I ordered breakfast, they were still waiting. They were sitting outside my room with 18 different things to be there quickly. So I very quickly learned. Also, they drove me around Walt Disney World, and it looked kind of confusing to me. So from that moment on, I became disruptive. I would travel around from 2 in the morning to 5 in the morning, going through kitchens. I always drove my own car there, not because I wanted to drive my own car, but I wanted to see whether the signage actually took you to the Magic Kingdom or not. And by the way, we ended up changing, for a lot of money, like $20 million, we changed the whole signage of the entire size of Manhattan, because I defied anybody to find anything. And we spent a lot of time in trying to make it easy for our customers. I also learned something else, by the way. Don't take what I say always too seriously. Because in the first couple of months I was there, I'd say, shouldn't there be a path that goes from here to there? And then I come back 2 weeks later and they spent, $250,000 and there was a cement path ruining the entire landscape. And I said, well, what is that path doing? Well, you asked for it. I said, no, I didn't ask for it. I just said, wouldn't it be good for a path to be there? So I had to get people early on to check back whether I really meant it. So, when you're disruptive, you can also be dangerous.
Branding, 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 branding. Tomorrow, the entire emphasis of the day is on branding. Trump makes a superior product. There's a prestige. People will pay double a price to be in a unit just so they can say they live in a Trump building because it has that cachet.
But it's not just related to us. I mean, look at Steve Wozniak, who, by the way, I know a lot of you saw him last year. He was absolutely fantastic and just a great guy. But, look at Apple. There's a lot of people out there. Android makes a great product, right? At half the price of an iPhone. I mean, there are so many of these companies that make a great product, but yet we're all willing to spend 3 times as much for something that has a little Apple logo on it. I mean, that brand is incredibly powerful, and that's why they're so successful. That's why brands matter. Look at Coca-Cola. I mean, I use this also at Mega Partnering, but look at the value of that company, just the goodwill of that company. When people see Coca-Cola, no matter where in the world you are, they buy it. They buy it because they know the brand. You could have the exact same tasting soda in a different can at half the price, and you wouldn't get nearly the amount of purchases. It's amazing how powerful brands are.
I asked you a question. I said earlier on, this was earlier, what was the key growth to Apple? And you said something that almost shocked me, which was sometimes hard to hear from different people. Said coaching was the difference in Apple. Can you expand on that?
Absolutely. It was really, Mike Markkula, and he brought in a few other established professional people that kind of knew the ways of the business world, but really his mind of here is what we had to learn. Steve and I were, young 20-year-olds. I see them now, and they come to me, I love their passion, I love their exuberance, and I see them as we were, and I want to mentor them when I can. I try to give them advice and direction anytime I can because that's what we got. And Mike really, basically establishing, here are the departments the company has, here's what this person does, and here's why. And Steve would usually counter, well, why doesn't somebody else do that one?
You basically got some eye coaching.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, I didn't call it that back then.
No, but I'm calling it now.
Mr. Mayor, you talked about, and you and I talked about in private, the importance of coaching. I think 95% of this room of people are being coached in business and in life. In your experience, you were around the Yankees, you're around some of the world's most successful entrepreneurs. You've talked to them. How important is coaching for people to succeed?
Enormously important. It's exactly what I was talking about. We learn from other people. We all need mentors. We all have mentors, whether we realize it or not. Sometimes it's done in a formal process, which is the best, but we're all borrowing from other people. I always advise people, if they don't have a mentor, go ask people. Like if
Would you like to be my mentor?
you go find somebody that's been successful.
I didn't hear an answer. I'm sorry.
I'll be your mentor, sure. I've mentored worse. But you go find somebody that you admire who's been successful and ask them how they did it. People love to share that with you. And maybe it's in your line of work or in your area. Maybe it isn't. I think the keys to success are kind of universal. So even if you're in science and somebody's been very successful in finance, you go talk to them and you find out why they were successful, or you can get them to mentor you. That's going to help you a lot. That's going to really jumpstart you.